What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Dumb Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for May 15th through May 21st, 2025. In regards to unlocks, completing the Titan job finale from the Mackenzie Field hangar will unlock you the limited time Merryweather livery for the Iron Mule heli. The current prize ride is the Karen Hot Ring Everon. It's primarily based on the 2022 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro NASCAR and has normal price of just under 1.8 million and a trade price of about 1.3 million. To get it for free this week, you have to get top 3 in an LS Car Meet Series race for 4 days in a row. It's in the sports class and is one of the slowest vehicles in that class for track performance, as with all the Hot Ring cars. However, for Hot Ring races, it does have the highest top speed of the 3 Hot Ring cars, and since most of the Hot Ring races are top speed focused, this is one of the better choices to use for most of them. Now for visual customization, it sadly only offers liveries, so keep that in mind. Continuing to be test ride vehicles, we have the Rapid GT Cabrio, the Massacro, and the Verlier, and all 3 of these are Moo website vehicles. And for current gen console and PC users, we have the Hakuchu Drag as the HSW test ride vehicle for this week. Continuing to the casino podium vehicle, we have the Anis ZR350. It's primarily based on the Mazda RX-7 FD, and has a normal price of about 1.6 million and a trade price of about 1.2 million. It's in the sports class and is one of the slower performing vehicles in that class around most tracks, but honestly it doesn't really matter because the customization and styling of this thing was just very well done. You can tell Rockstar really put their heart and soul into this one, plus it does offer drift tuning as well. This is such a great car to try and win off the casino podium if you don't already own it. In terms of the dealership cars this week, on luxury autos we have the Yosemite 1500 and the Castigator. Continuing to Simeons, we have the Retinue, the Stinger, the Stafford, the Hot Rod Blazer, and the Lynx, and all of these are Moo website vehicles. Continuing to discounts, starting off with the property discounts, we have 30% off the Garment Factory, which is great for those of you who don't own it. Continuing to vehicle discounts, starting off in Legendary Motorsport website, we have 30% off the Vision. This one's in the supercar class and is a top 20 performing vehicle in that class excluding HSW. It has pretty good handling, acceleration, and speed, but honestly I wish it handled more like the Altar, considering it's literally a race car. I wish it was more glued to the ground considering how it looks, but regardless, the styling of this thing is just phenomenal, mixing the P1 GTR and the Ferrari Zesri concept. A great showpiece for sure, even if you don't want to race with it. Next up, we have 30% off the X80. This one's in the supercar class and is a top 25 performing car in the class for most tracks, excluding HSW. Its main strength is acceleration and top speed, however where it lacks is in its handling. Now on flat tracks it's actually pretty good, however on any track with a slight elevation change, this thing essentially has zero downforce, causing it to constantly lift off the ground, which results in a loss of traction, which means you have to slow down extra in corners that have bumps or elevation changes. However, I do like the wild styling of this thing, and while it is pricey, I think it's a car that looks just great in a supercar collection. Moving along, we have 30% off the Mamba. So this one's in the Sports Classics class and is a mid-tier performing car in that class. It has great acceleration and top speed, but does lack quite a bit in regards to traction, but honestly I don't mind. Its progressive traction loss is super easy to manage and just a ton of fun. It's a very fun car to drive. Pair that with the aggressive exhaust note that it has, and it makes it one of my favorite classic cars in the game. Highly recommend the Mamba if you don't already own it. It's a fun classic car to mess around with. Moving on to the Summer San Andreas website, we have 30% off the Sultan RS Classic. So this one's in the sports class and is a top 25 performing vehicle in that class for track performance, which is pretty good. What holds it back the most is sadly its low top speed, which is way below average. However, for tuner races, it's one of the top 3 performing cars depending on the track, so it is useful, although it's very track dependent. The lack of top speed really hurts it on some tracks, but regardless, the customization is fantastic and it's a ton of fun to drive. Highly recommend. Next up, we have 30% off the Brioso 300. So this one's in the compacts class and is the slowest car in that class, but this is to be expected for a car like this. But man, I absolutely love the styling and customization of this thing. Rockstar did such a great job with this little car. Highly recommend if you want a nice, classy little car to add to your collection with good customization, especially at this price. Continuing, we have 30% off the Chavos V6. So this one's in the sedans class and is one of the top 3 fastest cars in the class for most tracks due to its sports car-like handling, which is surprising considering it's just a Honda Accord based car, but it does handle and accelerate very well. However, for top speed, it's about 10 miles per hour off the pace of the top sedans, so that's kind of what really holds it back depending on the track. Honestly, I don't really think it's worth it unless you have like an ultra tight track with no straightaways basically. Honestly, I think at almost $1 million it's still a bit pricey for what it is. Next up, we have 30% off the Astrope GZ. So this one's in the sedans class and is a top 10 performing vehicle in that class, which isn't too bad for a Camry based car. It also has some pretty decent customization. For about $300,000, it's not a bad deal for a newer DLC car. Continuing, we have 30% off the Brigham. So this one's in the muscle car class and isn't very fast, which is to be expected, but the customization and detail is fantastic, especially if you're a Ghostbusters fan. Kind of a random car of Rockstar to add on sale now. Usually it's around Halloween when they do this, but here's your chance if you missed it last October. And to clarify, get it, this car is not only meant for the Ghostbusters stuff, you can also customize it to like something else, but usually that's what Rockstar does, they put it on sale during Halloween time. Anyway, lastly, we have 30% off the Outlaw. So this one's in the off-roads class and is a mid-tier performing vehicle in that class. It has great acceleration and handling. It's a fun little off-roader to drive. However, its top speed is pretty low, which is to be expected, and it's a bit pricey for a side-by-side, honestly. I don't really think it's 100% worth it, but if you've been wanting one for a while, now it's on sale, I guess might as well just buy it, but personally I don't think it's worth it for this price. And for vehicle upgrade discounts, we have 30% off Drift Tune upgrades. Moving along to the gun event, we have follow weapons available this week and 30% off the precision rifle, proximity mines, tear gas, grenades, and armor, and a free homing launcher and grenade launcher, so that's pretty nice of Rockstar to do. For double money, we have double money NRP on the adversary mode hunting pack remix, drift races, FIB file finales, and lastly the Garment Factory passive safe income, which really isn't all that great, but at least it's something from Rockstar. For the weekly challenge, if you complete any 3 FIB file finales, you receive a 100k bonus. For the FIB priority file Garment Factory this week, it's going to be the fine art file, so that's double money in combination with it being priority file. That's a pretty good one to do. Continuing to the weekly vehicle robberies from the Savage Art business, again these only change once per event week. We have the cargo ship robbery with the Hermes, the MiG-20 robbery with the Omnis, and the podium robbery with the Comet S2 Cabrio, and none of these are claimable this week. And lastly, for the time trials, this week's normal time trial is Fort Sancudo. I highly recommend a quick bike for this one. For the premium race, you have the Sports Classics Race Crossing Pass. Highly recommend the Low Speed, Turismo Classic, or Cheetah Classic for this race. And if you're on current gen or PC, I highly recommend using the HSW Sterling GT or HSW Turismo Classic. And lastly, for current gen console and PC users, the HSW Time Trial Specific Bluffs. As always, the HSW Hakuchi Drag with the best one for these. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Sultan RS Classic. It's a top 3 performing car for tuner races, and it has great styling and customization. And of course, it's a ton of fun to drive as well. This is a great deal on this car. Anyways guys, overall this event week I would say is slightly above average. The double money bonuses are pretty average except for the double money FIB files, which I guess is pretty decent. And the vehicle discounts and the fact that the Garment Factory is on sale as well is pretty nice. So factoring and everything, I know it's not as good as the event weeks that we've been used to getting recently, which have been a bit better, but considering the old event weeks, which are pretty terrible, this is definitely above that. I'm going to give this week a solid 7 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Anyways, again guys, thanks for watching, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.